Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Couldn't be any better. Today's a great day.
All right, enough BS out of the way. And with us from the Great White North is John Reiner. How you doing, John?
How am I doing? How am I doing?
Yeah.
Tell you how I'm doing.
Hey, what? John. John. John, where you going? Don't be
No, I'm
mad,
just kidding,
buddy.
man. I'm doing all right. I'm coming off a stretch of the flu, so I think that as a cigar smoker, the worst thing about coming off a stretch of the flu is like you really, you have one of those days where you really want a cigar
Yeah.
because you just need that cigar, and like I can't taste a thing right now, so it's
Yeah.
yeah, rough
John's
times.
also upset that he didn't get the Magneto check yet.
That's right.
What's up with that, man? Where's my check? Where's my money? Show me
Oh,
the money.
Getting the
follow up, man.
customs.
I want the Quan.
All right, so today we are talking about the Alec Bradley Black Market Esteli Robusto. The cigar is 5-inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the Races Cubanas factory in Honduras. Wrapper's from Nicaragua. Binder is a double binder from Nicaragua and Honduras, and the filler is from Nicaragua. Price point is $7.55, and the cigar was released in October of 2017. So with that out of the way, June, what was your smoking experience like?
Um, Smoking flavor wise, in terms of just raw flavors, centered around black pepper, like a cardboardy burning paper sort of a note. That's how the cigar started out. Past that mark, got some minerals, dry nuts, retro. Just got deeper notes of the same black pepper and dry nuttiness. The finish is most eye-catching for me in the sense that the finish for me was really thin. It was a very like soft, lingering like cardboard pepper kind of a note, which is interesting because I rarely smoke a non-Cuban that I felt like the finish was really thin. So I guess it was unique in that sense. As the cigar kind of progressed, I mean, I got less of that cardboardy, like paper kind of a note, uh, and it was more mineral focused. But for the most part, it was still kind of finishing off with that, and still had a really thin finish, medium kind of a body and strength. Overall, I mean, basically with that said, it was sort of a pretty like average, mundane kind of a experience for me in terms of flavors. The upside is the construction was really good. I rated the burn to be really good. A little bit of ashy, flaky ash, but other than that, cool, steady burn, sharp burn line. Draw was perfect. So basically, average tasting cigar profile that had really good construction.
All right, John, how about you? What were your thoughts on this cigar?
So I'm gonna echo a lot of what June said. First of all, I mean I was a huge fan and still am a huge fan of the original Black Market. So I think maybe my expectations for this might have been maybe on the high side. But it started out with pepper, and when I say pepper, if you're a smoker of the original Black Market, it's a very, and I think June used the good word there, thin, very light, very thin compared to the original. So it's not a pepper bomb by any stretch of the imagination. Got some mixed spices and coffee in the retrohale, a little bit of sweet tobacco in the first third, and then as the first third sort of I should say, settled in, a little bit of post-draw leather with some cedar. But again, all the notes are light plus, very thin and not bold and in your face like the original Black Market, which I found kind of surprising. And then in the middle third, really no sharp flavor transitions. You just kind of found yourself in the middle third and didn't really notice. Again, a lot of cedar and the leather kind of picked up a little bit in the second third with nothing really else going on. And in the last third, again, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of cedar, a little bit of light spices in the retrohale with some leather. I did have some slight issues with the burn, just some minor touch-up issues. But if I'm marking it on the burn, I kind of had to dock a little bit. So I still marked it as a good burn. Like June was saying, construction I mean, in general, Alec Bradley makes really well constructed cigars, so no issues with the construction. I was surprised. I had a weird issue with the draw. It was like really snug to start with, which is kind of surprising to me with a V cut. And then as the cigar kind of went on, like right around sort of 75% of the way through the first third, it's like something popped or something, and all of a sudden the burn became perfect. So, like, I was like sucking through a straw for the first little bit, and then all of a sudden it was perfectly fine. So it could have just been, a bad one. I didn't have a chance to smoke a second one. I intend to smoke a second one, but I'm assuming it's just a one-off. Overall, like June, pretty average smoking experience. I was really let down, I think, maybe because my expectations were so high, being such a fan of the original. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting something else, and just kind of a very average experience.
Yeah, for me, I kind of started out with some pine and black pepper, and then like a little further in, a little cream joined in. I did get a slight metallic note that showed up for a short time, but that went away fairly quickly. Retro Hale was had a little heat to it, kind of woody with a little dry earthiness. Second, third was wood, some bitterness, some dry earthiness. Shortly into it, a fair amount of char took over that bitterness, and then the final third, it was a little bit of bitterness, kind of still there with that charred wood and dry earthiness. Retro Hale was creamy wood, slight dry earthiness to that. And then towards the end, it heated up, which kind of brought a little mintiness to the profile. And then strength was slightly above medium kind of through the first two thirds, and then it got to medium full in the final third. In regards to construction, it was really good. Burn line was just a little bit wavy in a few sections, but it never needed any attention. Ash held on an 1.5 inch increments. And in regards to the draw, I thought it was perfect. I didn't have any issues with it at all. So, June, overall, what were your thoughts on this cigar?
Overall, pretty average experience. That burning paper cardboard note, it's rarely a good note when I taste that, and it's especially dominated by that. And that paired by such overall thin flavors, it was a letdown. I for some reason I was expecting the cigar to be bolder than the original Black Market. Mm-hmm. When I read Esteli, it reminds me back to, like, what is this? How many years ago was this? Maybe like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Like, I had some like Esteli Ligero. I mean, I know it's Ligero, but like in general, when I think about Nicaraguan tobacco, I don't think about light. That's for certain. I don't think about thin. So I was expecting more of a punch, more of a amped up, flavors as well as body. And it delivered exactly the opposite for me. So yeah, pass on this one for me.
What were your overall thoughts on this cigar?
I think June has a really good point on the Esteli sort of prominently displayed on the band. I'm really not sure what they were trying to accomplish with that, because maybe that's where my source of expectations came going into this. Again, very over average experience. I think if I were to sit down and really think about it, you think about this Black Market Esteli and you say, okay, what's the defining flavor of this cigar? And it really doesn't have a defining flavor. There's nothing within this cigar that I can say, when I think about the Esteli, I think of this particular character. When I think of the original Black Market, I go pepper bomb. That's like, it's a pepper bomb, it's meaty, it's spicy, and that's part of what attracts me to it. This cigar just kind of felt like they were maybe playing it safe, or maybe they were looking for something else. I think it's going to have a lot of mass market appeal because it's not as intense, it's not as in your face as the original Black Market, but for all of those reasons, that's why it didn't really hit for me.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned, like, kind of going back to what you identify with the original. For me, I identify cocoa with the original, and I didn't get any of that with this cigar. It was a lot of wood, dry earthiness for me, a little bit of that metallic note up front. It got some char later on. Construction is fantastic on this cigar, kind of to be expected. The other thing that to note is the price point. I mean, $7.55 is a very attractive price point. So if the flavor profile is something that someone enjoys, then it's something that's worthwhile, and they can kind of go deep on this as like a regular cigar to go smoking. But like you guys have said, it's the not enough complexity or the flavor components that I'm looking for in this cigar. I'd smoke another one if it was handed to me, but I'm probably not going to go searching out for them. These are, or have a craving for this particular cigar. If I want to smoke a Black Market, I'll probably go back to the original over this one than that.
Or the Prensado Lost Art.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into our scores. I gave it a 5.65. June gave it a 6 even, and John, you gave it a 5.25. So June, how do you think that your score matched up with your experience?
Matched up well. Overall, average tasting profile, good construction. I mean, I feel like I'm like someone saying things on repeat. We just I keep saying that within the last few cigars we had. So.
Yep. How about you, John?
Yeah, samesies. I think the only reason that saved this cigar from being a straight 5.0 is that, again, with Alec Bradley, I think they do make great cigars from a physical construction and draw perspective, and I think I did get a dud because I can't even think of the last time I had any draw issues with an Alec Bradley. Band is great, packaging is great, price points are attractive. All the things are there to be successful in the market, but just average flavor, and that's what I'm smoking it for. So.
Yeah, John, you and I scored the same except for the construction notes. So, if flavor-wise it was the same, so I just had a little bit better construction than you, and that's kind of what gave it a little bump in score. But otherwise, it was the same. It's just an average tasting cigar. There's a ton of cigars out there that are like this, kind of fit that profile, get the same enjoyment level. So nothing, to write home about. Any other final thoughts from you guys on this cigar?
No.
I think Alec Bradley makes a lot of great cigars that I can think of off the top of my head, and I would probably reach for any one of those over this one, sadly.
Yep, I'd agree. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.